everybody. Are you like me, and do you like to find other ways to use your stamps and Stampin' Up! Supplies? I'm going to show you a fun, different way to use the new Grateful Bunch stamp set. And here's a little sneak peek at the card. I'm going to show you how to get the multiple colors on your single stamp like that. So come on, let's get started. So here's another look at the card. And you'll notice that there are three colors. They kind of blend together, but I used crushed curry, calypso coral, which matches the cardstock, and melon mambo. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did that. I started with a small square that is 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. And I'm going to first ink, and of course my stamp is quite stained, but that's okay. It works just as well. It just makes it a little trickier to add the other colors. I'm going to ink the whole thing first in crushed curry. Then I'm going to take calypso coral, and I'm using a sponge dauber. I added a little label just to make it a little easier for me as I'm reusing these. And then I'm going to dab randomly. And again, because I can't really see real clearly because of the stained stamp, I'm just going to remember a little bit where I put it, but it doesn't really matter if you end up overlapping because all the colors are good. You want them all to kind of show. And so that's really what I did. I'm going to huff on that stamp and then put it down on my paper. And again, you can see a little bit of all those colors. Grab my cleaner pad. I'm going to clean that off. And just make sure I start out with a clean stamp because I want to do the same thing all over again so you can kind of see how I did that. And no two flowers, even on your own card, are going to turn out the same. And you just want to make sure that your stamps are nice and inky when you do this. And I want the center of the flower to make it onto the card because I've got a purpose for that. Clean that off. Curry again, and again, I'm only doing 3 flowers, so it's not like I have to do a whole lot of work. The hardest part of this is concentrating to make sure you don't double dip in the wrong color. Again, I want that. So now I've got my 3 flowers. I'll set that aside. I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And it's kind of fun, you get kind of a tie-dye look. And I use my Memento Black, and I'm going to put the You Are Totally Awesome. And what's nice about using black, because no matter what colors I've got underneath it, and lighter, you can still see your sentiment through it. I'll just take my snail, catch the 4 corners. I've got a piece of black that's just 1/8 of an inch larger. So that's 2.5. I'm going to add that to a piece of vellum cardstock that is 2 3/4 inch by 2 3/4 inch. And it just adds a little bit of interest because my color that I mounted on will show through. And so I've done this ahead of time. I embossed a piece of calypso coral that is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to use dimensionals to put that on. I used a 25-inch piece of black and white baker's twine, wrapped it around twice and tied it in a bow on the side. If it's easier for you to tie a bow, go ahead and tie it in a knot first. Or get a friend that's good at bow tying to tie it for you. We're going to put that on the top and front of our card, and then we're going to use dimensionals to pop this onto our card over the twine. And this was a fun card because I made these for recognition cards for my team members this month that had great sales in February. And so it was a fun card to make multiple times. So I'm going to share another little trick with you. I'm going to use the Perfect White Accents, but I'm actually going to take it off of the sheet and I want to remove the white sticky dot that's behind it, which does remove the adhesive. So I do need to add adhesive to make it work. But by removing that, you can now see through them. So I'll use a dot of our fine tip glue pen. It will dry clear and it'll be strong enough to hold that. And I will do that 2 more times. So it's just easy. You can just use your fingernail or your piercing tool if you have no fingernails, and you can get a hold of the edge of that white. And of course the first one came off nice and easy. You just get your fingernail underneath there. And I'm going to borrow my piercing tool to get it the rest of the way. So I did the hard part and got it started. And again, that's the adhesive, so you're removing the adhesive. And just fine tip glue pen, and add that. And I love the fine tip because it is clear. It will dry pretty quickly and you won't be able to see it once it dries. Actually, you can't see it while it's wet either. So that added a little bit more dimension to it. You can see that it's fun. You can see the color. It actually makes it pop in the center. And then I just used a different sentiment on this one. It's from the Birthday Blooms stamp set. So you can see a couple of different occasions that you could use that for. You could stamp any of those in any color. So that is my card for today. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you'll give this idea a try.